Hey there, I'm Matt LaCroix with Massey Ferguson Hay Marketing North America. Welcome to Hesston, Kansas, Haytown, USA. Today, we're going to really focus on the new Gen 2 Windrower. We're super excited about the Gen 2 Windrower. We're going to tell you about some of the changes to it. We're also going to go into the factory. Maybe we get to meet a couple of people, but we're going to go down the line and show you all the changes we've made to the line so that it's a lot more efficient, it's a lot safer, and it's a lot more repeatable. So the new Gen 2 Windrower here, some of the changes we made to it, we changed the tandem pump setup. You may ask, what is a tandem pump? One runs your propulsion, one runs the header. We made those a lot larger. One way to think about that is a V6 engine versus a V8 engine in your truck. We also changed the engine dynamics. We moved from 2160 RPMs being the max to 1850. That's going to save you some fuel and make it a much quieter operation. We changed how the cab is mounted to the frame. This will make the cab super quiet and super comfortable. We've also rerouted some of the hydraulic hoses, and we have run some hard lines in there as well. It's going to keep you in the field longer because we also added a larger fuel cell. So now let's go into the factory so you can see where all the magic happens. We just wrapped up one of our Hesston VIP events where we bring dealers and farmers into the factory so they can see everything that's new and how we actually make the products that are on their farms. If you didn't have a chance to see our virtual Hesston VIP, the link is in the description. And now we're going to go into the factory and go to the Windrower line so you can visit with the new Gen 2 Windrower. Now we're going to show you where the magic happens. This is our Windrower line where we built our new Gen 2 Hesston by Massey Ferguson Windrowers. We're going to take you down the line here and see a lot of the great new features on these Windrowers. Oh look, we're in luck. We've now found Jessica Stone. She's our site lead. Let's go talk to her and one of our assembly leads, Logan. Hey there, Jessica. Hey, Logan.
Hi, Matt.
Mind if we get a couple of words from you?
Yeah.
We're now here with Jessica Stone. She's our site lead and director of supply chain management here at Hesston.
Matt, thank you. I'm incredibly proud of the investment, the planning, the teamwork that's gone into redoing the Windrower assembly line. Back in 2025, so early 2025, when we were preparing for model year 26, we had an opportunity to completely transform the line. In fact, we took it down to the studs, redid the floors, painted, did a new layout. All of the parts now have a specific area. All of the tools now have a specific area. It's a brighter, cleaner, more pleasant work environment for everybody. And it's really reflective of the passion, the commitment, and the teamwork that our team has towards our farmers. So I'm incredibly proud of the team and what they have done on the assembly line.
So Logan, how's this new setup we have here on the Windrower line, how's that affect you and your team?
New changes mean that our quality is better. Parts get checked 2-3 times before they make it to our line. We have everything set in stone where it's supposed to be, so that helps with safety. We know exactly where it is. No trip hazards, no slips, nothing like that. And I feel like the production is a lot faster. Everybody's a team, everybody works together, and we just get it done.
Good deal. I know you're both very busy. We got to get these great new Windrowers out to the farmers, so thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Matt.
Good to see you. All right, so now we met two of the very influential people that helped make this new Gen 2 Windrower line what it is today. We're going to go around some other items within the line and show you what's making your Windrower achieve better. The first assembly station you come to here is where we assemble our engine with the tandem pumps I mentioned earlier. So we raised the size of the tandem pumps to be able to handle a lot more load and a lot more pressures that we are demanding from Windrowers these days. As you have seen, we keep increasing the horsepower, the flow, the pressures that are going through there, so we need to be able to handle all that pressure of the hydraulics that are going through there. So we've got our tandem pump assembly here going on to the engine, and the new dynamics of our engine, we've actually changed the RPM max. So in the old Windrowers, the max was 2,160 RPMs. With the new one, we're at 1,850. So not only is that going to give you some fuel efficiency, but it's also going to make an overall quieter package. Okay, so next we're going to step down here to the cab line, and they're assembling cabs down here. When we came out with this cab, we wanted to have the most creature comforts in a cab. Now granted, the header is super important on the overall process, but you want to be able to have a really good day in the cab because you're going to spend a lot of hours in there. And the fatigue of the operator is really important. So here is where the cab assembly process starts. Of course, we make all of our frames in another back shop. They come to the line here as they start getting assembled. And as we walk down through the line, you will see the different processes and stages that goes through. If we look over here to the left side, we talked about, and you see the robots coming through. They're bringing all the parts to the line. So on this side over here, we have assemblies that are coming to the line fully assembled. We have the rear cooling fan here, and you can see the fan shroud, the rear axle, and some batteries and other items on there. That makes the whole process much easier for the assembly team. In the past, these units were assembled on the line. Now they're done at a back shop at chest level, so it makes it much more efficient, much more accurate, and less fatigue for the assembly line. So if you look behind you here, there's a robot coming through here bringing an empty crate. So these autonomous robots bring materials to the line and from the line. They're all self-driving, they're pre-programmed. They know when there's an empty crate to pick up, and then they'll bring the fully decked out crate back to the assembly station. So these autonomous robots that are bringing parts to the stations, they've made it a much more cleaner process. So you think of forklift drivers, they're having to bring parts down here in the past. Now the only time forklifts ever engage with this line is at the very beginning and the very end. So they'll have a forklift bring the frame over here to start down the line, and at the very end they'll have a forklift bring tires as the final assembly process in the WR line. So if we come down through here, you'll see different stages, like I mentioned, of the cab. And then also we have the different stages of assembly on the line. So in the station we have over here, you can see where we're assembling the engine, the hydraulic pump set, and lines onto the Windrower cab. So we've got a quick little picture here of, you can tell the different size in our sleeves now. We have moved, as you can see, from a 53cc to a 60 and a 68cc pump on our tandem pump lines. All right, now we're going to transition down to where we add the fuel cell, the hydraulic tanks onto the frame. So part of the Gen 2 updates here, and I've got a nice little schematic for you here, is the hydraulic lines and how we have rerouted a lot of the lines. We've also added some hard lines in there as well. This is part of the process that is actually going to make our Windrower one of the quietest on the market. So now we're going to come over here. If you look to the left over here, you can see where they're installing the fuel cell as well as your hydraulic tanks. Now these assemblies come to the line now pre-assembled. The old process was they were actually putting the hydraulic lines and fuel lines on those cells here at the stations. Now you got to think, if you're bending over, having to squat down and put that on every day, it's going to add to your fatigue and make the whole process less safe and less efficient. So after the hydraulics, we're here at the exhaust station, and now we're going to go down to see our new cab mounting. Well, while we're here, this is the station where we also install our V-Cool system. This is industry-leading V-Cool system. We have hydraulic fan in there, and the great thing about our hydraulic fan assembly is you can change the speed of your fan. Say you're in a warmer climate and the engine starts getting hot, the fan can speed up and go faster. If you're in a cooler climate and the engine's not getting hot, that fan can actually slow down. That's going to lead to burning less horsepower and less fuel consumption. Another great feature of the V-Cool system and the hydraulic fan assembly, every 15 minutes it automatically reverses. It blows all that chaff that may have built up on your back screen off. Every time you turn your head off, it also reverses. This reduces any operator input from having to keep your rear screen clean during the workday. Now we're going to go over to the assembly portion right before they put the cabs on, and we're going to talk about the cab mounting system. The largest portion of our sound reduction process came from the cab mounting section here. As you can see, we've made a lot of changes to how we mount the cabs to the frame. This allowed us the ability to keep the sounds and noises that are coming from your hydraulic system from transferring through the frame, through your hydraulics into the cab. Okay, so now we'll go to the test station This is after the cabs have already been installed onto the frame. So this is not only our running station, but we also fill our fluids in here. So we'll put diesel in here, we'll put hydraulic fluid, as well as coolants. We first put those in here, then we go down to the running station. That's where we test our planetaries and our engine. Now we're coming over to our dyno process. At the dyno process, they're going to also test your ground drive, your electrical, as well as your header drive system. This is after they've already added all of the fluids. After it comes through the test station, then they start making it pretty. They start adding your side panels and your decals on here. As you can see, this unit is just now getting the side panels, and you're getting your cowling around the front of your header as well. That's when it starts looking like the WR series you're aware of. We come to the next station after that, and you can see we've already started installing our great Hesston and Massey Ferguson decals, as well as that brand new Gen 2 decal. At this last assembly station, we put on our rear screen. Also, we add our tires. As you can see, this particular unit has ag tires on it. You can also get bias ply turf tires or radial turf tires, depending on your application. After this step, it goes out into the finished goods lot, ready to come to your farm so you can achieve better forage quality.